Hi, good evening. Got myself some chocolates. After a very long time, I'm having one. There's a story behind chocolates and me, and I'm going to tell you that. So, it so happened, hmm, lovely. It so happened that my father and me were great. We got a sweet tooth. Okay? We love sweets. But this old man of mine had this very weird thing in him that everything, as far as food is concerned, had to be rationed. So what would he do? He'd put out this rule, he had put it out, that if there was a slab of chocolates like this, and there were pieces, like this, like 1, 2, 3, 4. 2 pieces for my mother, 4 pieces for himself, and 1 piece for me. Yeah, that was the rule. And it was a rule. So after every meal, there had to be sweets. It was compulsory. So if there wasn't an Indian sweet meat, there would be chocolate. So Dad would ensure that there are chocolates stocked up in the fridge. Now, where would the chocolates come from? He used to travel a lot. And in those days, the only thing you could pick up a little generously was chocolates. Because liquor and everything else was expensive. So he would get this pile of chocolates, different types. Dark chocolate, milk chocolate, liquor chocolate, if it was there. I don't recall any of it, but I still remember different companies, mainly Swiss and British. And he would bring this whole stack like this and put them in the fridge. Believe it or not, he would count how many were there. Then he would count how many small pieces in each of them, depending on the size. He would write it down. And after every meal, one particular slab would come out and he would give it to each one of us. Me being me, I just couldn't understand for the life of me why on earth was he rationing it. I mean, I was brushing my teeth every day twice. So there's no question of me losing my teeth or it's getting decayed or anything like that. But he had his reasons. And he would never say it aloud. He would just say it's good for you. So when he says it's good for you, just accept it and believe it that it's good for you. Which actually turned out correct much later on. So anyway, one day, it so happened that I was pathetic at maths. Pathetic. I changed 8 tuition teachers. I'll tell you about that later in another episode. So anyway, I had this very young guy come in to teach me maths, and I was, being me, very generous. I said, let me impress him by giving him chocolates. And Dad was traveling. So one day, I was over smart. So in this whole stack of chocolates, I thought Dad would not notice. I pulled out one from the bottom. Not right at the bottom, but the second from the bottom. And I went and gave it to him. I said, this is for you. He asked me, are you sure? I mean, have you asked your parents? I said, yeah, you take it. So I gave it to him. The poor man took it, very happy. Okay. Days went on. Father came back, sat down for a meal, went to the fridge. He saw the stack and he started counting. I had completely forgotten that the man writes it down. So he found 1 slab less. And he asked his wife, which is my mother, have you taken it? Have you used it? She said, of course not. I have to watch my diet, so I haven't. So who's next? This man here. And boy, he grilled me and grilled me and grilled me. And you won't believe it. I was belted. He took me to his room. He shut the door. He took out his belt, folded it, turned me around and whacked me on my backside. Yes, he whacked me. And I was wondering, for a bloody bar of chocolates, I'm getting a hiding. What's wrong with this man? Has he lost it? And he whacked till he said, I'll keep whacking you till you tell me the truth. I just want the truth. Did you eat it or what did you do with this bar of chocolate? Then I had to say it. I said, I gave it to this guy. He said, why couldn't you tell me? What was the problem? Then he said, do you know why I have this ration? He says, one, everything is about moderation, nothing in excess. Two, you got to share everything. And when things are scarce, you got to share it carefully so that it lasts longer. And finally, too much of chocolate is not good for anyone, especially young ones like you. Not just good for the teeth, it plays havoc with your sugar levels. So he says, when I tell you something, there is a good logical reason behind it. And the reason why I'm hitting you is so that you remember this hit. Not because I'm angry. There is a message behind it. One, about disobedience. When you disobey, what is the consequence? And two, for not accepting that you've made a mistake and coming out with it. So the whole lesson was all thanks to chocolates. So I call it the chocolate story. And trust you me, till date, I will never finish a whole bar. Whether it's a 5-star or a Mars, I cannot finish it. I will finish that in 3 stages. 1 bite, 2nd bite, 3rd bite after each meal if I ever want to eat it at this stage. So what he taught me back then has stood ground even today. And it has paid real good dividend in terms of my health, in terms of my hygiene, in terms of the way I look at rationing out everything that I do and eat. So, have you gone through something like this before? Have you put a ration on yourself? Or have you been told that you can't eat this or you can't eat that much? And the same goes for everything else that you did in life. Give it a thought. And if it does come back to you, smile, because that would have been one of the best lessons you would have ever learned. I learned mine. Have you learned yours?